Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning LaLa. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Also available on Apple TV, Roku, and Twitch.
And it's hashtag Wealth Wednesday. We're going to talk about the 8 pillars of business. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and have some fun with some jewelry and,
there you go.
And water.
What do we have there? I love that.
We have
Beautiful.
some beautiful handcrafted Greek-inspired designs. The founder of LaLa Designs is actually in the house. Her name's Denise Berger. She's a dear friend of our executive producer, Mr. Andy Waldman, today. So I'm really excited. I mean, these are gold pieces and they give back.
Ah, love that.
Right?
Double bottom line.
Talk about hashtag Wealth Wednesday.
Yes.
So special thanks again to Matt Dillon and LaPaul Magazine for hosting an incredible event last night. How fun was that?
Love you
Awesome. Oh my
guys.
gosh.
They're the best.
Absolutely.
They just
Megan
make me happy.
Good, Anthony Anderson.
DJ Logan's Run. He was on the show yesterday. We got to actually hear him. What do you even say? Like hear him DJ, drop the beats? Like what's the cool way of saying that,
You
Rob?
just say, he just kills it.
Yeah, he was killing it last night.
Crushes it. That's it. Exactly.
He really was. So it was a lot of fun.
Dropping that
Red
fire.
carpet at Sofitel. It's funny because we walk in now, it's like family. Everyone's family. All of LA is family. We know all of you guys.
It's amazing how small a city can actually be, despite being so large at the same time, right?
It's amazing,
Yeah, it's incredible.
right?
Well, speaking of incredible, we have incredible guests today. We're so excited to welcome to the show. Hello, everyone, back in the studio, and good morning.
Good morning.
We have got Asha in the house dressed like royalty today. You might recognize her.
Wow, royalty?
Yes.
Wow.
Purple is the color of royalty.
Love
Did you know?
I did know that.
And did you know she's married to medicine? You might recognize her from Bravo's hit.
There you go.
How are you today, Asha?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're so grateful that you're here on Good Morning La La Land. We like to know what your morning routine is. How do you start your day?
Well, I'll tell you what I did this morning. I, got a workout in, and that was an early workout, so I'm very happy for myself. I know. I mean, it was just 30 minutes on the treadmill, but I did it. And then I'm going to take my test. And, I always listen to, like, a soul song. That's what I like to call it, or like a playlist. So Beyonce just dropped her Coachella album. So that was my morning routine. I had a dance party. I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyonce, she brings out my best self.
I know.
You know?
I know, right? That's exactly how I feel. I'm ready to go. That's why I dress like this.
You are ready. Well, thank you for being here.
I woke up like this.
Stay woke. Denise Berger is in the house. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us today. So how does a jewelry designer and a businesswoman like you start her day?
I'd like to say that I wake up and do meditation and listen to a soul song, but I really hit snooze about 3 times, and then I spring out of bed and I race to put on my clothes, brush my teeth, and hit the gym.
Well, we appreciate your authenticity.
We sure do.
Denise.
Yeah.
We really do. Laura Fliplowitz is in the house. She is the founder of Connect Her Media Collaboration Agency. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Your story
Thank you for having me.
is so powerful, incredible, and we love the work that you're doing. We really do. But tell us, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
Okay, well, clearly I'm supposed to go to the gym, but I'm like, I'm not doing something right, I guess. But anyway, no, in all reality, I'm a mom, right? So I wake up and I literally go straight for the coffee pot. And turn on my laptop, computer, nothing super exciting, and then just Facebook message everybody that I need something from for the day. And then I say good morning to my husband. So no gym, no songs, none of that. And in that order, that's what I do. That's a priority.
I love it. Well, as a mom, you live in the gym. You just call it life.
Yes, exactly. Every day.
That's good,
All day,
Rob.
all night.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before they hit the Universal back lot today, we have got Ken and Paige here from Hallmark's Home and Family. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're so grateful that you're here. We love all the work that you guys do over there. We're really excited about the sweepstakes that's happening. Of course, we'll talk about that later in the show. But first, we want to know, Paige, how do you start your day?
I don't do any of this stuff that these guys do. Like, I feel like I should be, kicking it up a notch. I have 5 animals. So when I wake up, I'm surrounded. I have 3 kitties that I sleep with, 2 puppies on the floor. And when I say puppies, they're all like 10, 12, 15 years old. I get my little kitty and puppy loving. Husband's still asleep. And then it really is. It is. I feel like if I get a purr and a lick in the morning, it starts my day happy. I start with animals, and then I go to work with animals too.
Well, if
just
I-
like Ken.
Oh.
Boom.
That just means more love.
More love.
Yes.
I think that was a mic drop right
was a mic
there.
I know, seriously.
Ken, what about you? How do you start your day?
I'm a parent as well, so it's like alarm goes off, 3 kids, 5, 5, and 7. I have to get them up, out of bed, hair braided, hair combed, 3 waffles, fruit, walk to school, drop them off. It's exhausting.
Just hearing it.
Tell
It'd
them
be exhausting.
where you do this.
Oh, I don't live here. I live in San Francisco, and then I hop on a flight down here to do filming, and then
Yep.
fly back home to get dinner on the table. Yeah, 3 days.
Wow.
But I do not go to the gym, and I do not meditate. So
Well, I
about
think
15 years.
flying is like a workout too, right?
Indeed. Yes,
That's
it
when I
is.
that's
Just
when I
going
nap
through
and do my Facebook messaging on the plane.
Clearly, he's lazy.
So.
Yeah.
Let's face the fact.
A real slack in there, right?
Oh, well, thank you so much for being with us. Sam Behrens is in the house. You might recognize this iconic actor from things like General Hospital, Young and the Restless. Good morning, Sam. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
We're so grateful that you're here today, and we're excited to have a very important conversation about the working lives of the man in Hollywood. But first, we want to know, how do you start your day?
Well, I too wake up.
That's good. That's good.
Always a great start.
It's a good start.
Actually waking up.
And believe me, I'm grateful when I wake up. Another day, great. And we actually share the same morning, although I'm not her husband. But my wife and I have 6 dogs, so the morning is dedicated to them. First thing we do is wake up, well, I do, because she stays up, my wife stays up late, and I get up early. And I go and take care of the morning chores with the dogs, and that's actually sometimes the best time of the day is spending with the animals. Yeah, and they're super smart. And then I take my coffee and I go upstairs to my office and sit in front of the computer and watch the news to see what horrible, amazing things have happened during the day while I was in bed. And that's
Very civilized. Very civilized.
and then I do take a walk in the morning, so I get some exercise. Normally, when I get the urge, this is an old joke, get the urge to exercise, I usually sit down, wait for that urge to go away.
There you go. Wait for it to pass.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's perfect. Well, thank you all so much for being with us today. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Love
Everybody
it.
Feels very awake back there.
Very awake, very awake. So
Right.
I had, it's funny because we talk a lot about online and haters and stuff, right? So I haven't had, I swear to goodness that years back I used to have controversial comments in social media, and it's literally been years since I've had anything negative. And one gal she didn't even say really anything that negative. She just kind of like was chiming in saying, oh, these spiritual, materialists, da da da. And I was contemplating, you guys, because I want your guys' input. Like, what do you guys think about, like, we have freedom of choice, we have freedom of voice, we have freedom of speech, and it's really important for everyone to be expressing that. But I am a firm believer that, like, all of us get to be, like, we all get our expressions. And I think that we're all spiritual. I was thinking about, it's like, the heroin addict, homeless guy on the streets, just as spiritual as the next
100%,
spiritualist.
100% spirit.
Right?
100% spirit, right?
And yeah, and I feel like there's a spiritual thing where people go through where they have to be like, I'm better than, or I'm separate than because I've done my work, or I'm less spiritual, whatever. And I've learned so much from the show. It's crazy. Like we've had reality people on the show that have blown my mind of how much they give back, how much nonprofit. But so the point is this, because I'm making no sense right now.
Yeah.
No, you are.
Get to it, Erin.
Is that I had a comment on a thing, it was kind of a little negative, and it was like, oh yeah, like a reminder, like thank you for that comment, that person out there, because it reminded me of the growth and remembering that we're all one, and there's all compassion, and even the haters, I love the haters even, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal trainers for the soul.
That's right.
I love that. Personal trainers for peace and
So
happiness.
there's my rant for the day.
Yeah, I get it though. It's interesting. I think we've all gone through periods of our life when and where we wanted to control or change or influence other people.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting and fruitless.
Well, absolutely. It can be a little daunting when you're being truly vulnerable with yourself and your story, and you're letting millions of people worldwide into your lives, whether it's on a talk show like this or through your social media platforms. And a lot of times that does elicit a negative emotion or reaction. And so much of that stems from a conversation we had, this past week on the show on Monday, from a place of jealousy or envy. And I really challenge anybody who's left a negative comment, whether it be to anybody, to really look at what it is about that person that triggered you. And maybe it's because they wish they had what you had, and so in some way they have to be negative about it, It's so if you've ever thought, oh, I wish I could say this, or you have said that, take a look at why you would have done that, because it might stem from something that is deep inside of you and a need that you're not fulfilling in yourself.
Oh,
I think we've got a minister over here.
That, right?
I think we don't have to say anything. She's done. We've like
girl church is gonna happen right here, right now, every day.
Right?
Absolutely, it's so true, Jess. It's like
this.
what you can't accept or digest within yourself, you project on the others.
Absolutely.
And it's beautiful. I like the way Dr. Erin says, if you spot it, you got it.
So true. And
Right?
we're human, right? I'm definitely still in my spiritual development, for sure. I think we got to cut this short because we have like a huge day ahead. So we have 8 pillars. Just want to go through them real fast. Becoming an expertise is imperative if you're going to develop your business. Developing your products, you got to have a product. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to develop your
or service,
your platform, your marketing, your sales, your operations, your legality, and finally your partnership. We had to cut it really short, but I got to get those 8 pillars in there.
I love that.
Bam.
So if you didn't have enough to do already, there's 8 more things you can work on.
Nobody is too busy to build a business. It's all about priority. We really want to encourage you on #WealthWednesday to DM us, leave us a comment message, because we really want to continue the conversation with you.
Yeah, if you have hate comments, send them to them. I'm not interested, cuz.
And if you want to learn more about the 8 pillars, you can DM me as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to your home for talk. I'm Jezza Moyer, and this is Ever Talk TV, America's first live streaming video talk show platform. This week on Ever Talk, our shows were filled with positivity, enlightenment, Insta fame, Insta scandals, and binge-worthy conversations. Let's take a look.
Today's guest dislikes titles. Although he is an amazing, talented actor and a real-life Viking, he prefers to be valued by how many belly laughs he can get you to have in the shortest amount of time.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin Ziering, and this is The Housewives of Hollywood. You might think you know The Housewives, but it's not rosé all day, Pilates, and finding the best nannies. It's women supporting women, and today I have a very special guest, and we might have to change the name just to Housewives of Beverly Hills for Tori Spelling. Tori, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, anything for you.
Hello, I'm Lauren Francesca.
I'm Brad Grunberg.
And you're watching
How to Start.
Well, I ask all my guests, and you know I'm about to ask you, what is your golden secret?
I mean, it's so simple. You know, you just be the person you want to be around.
Who knew, that like 20 years later we'd be running a beauty empire together, empowering women everywhere.
But we need to
globally.
know, since we have Ian on, is there any really good stories from the past that you guys are willing to share with everyone today?
Oh my.
I mean,
Well, now that you say that, as his friend, I cannot answer that question.
Go ahead. What do you got? What do you got?
Oh, I got a lot.
Oh, do you?
No. He's so great. And we were honestly, outside of work, we were really good friends. We used to go out and hang out, and he's a good boy. He's a mad dancer, I gotta tell you. You still are, though. But he used to bust out some moves.
I can say this. First of all, people don't know, but you're beautiful on screen, but you're hotter in person.
Thank you.
And we need more Maria Conchita Alonsos in this world.
I think so.
You do. You give your heart. You have this talent, but you give and you help people.
Because if people knew how good it feels when you help, when you are saving a life, when you are helping to save a life, if they knew how good it feels,
it feels
just
better
even
to
to make you feel good.
I know.
You're gonna make me cry now.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
It's the truth.
Mic check, mic check.
Well, thank you so much for coming and doing my job for me.
Hey, no problem. I'm really excited about it. I love going on shows and taking over as the host. It's really fun.
I really love it. I'm just going to sit back. If you could just ask yourself and answer some questions.
I'm going to ask myself some questions. You can just kind of sit there and react with your face as I go through.
I'm introducing an Emmy Award-winning host. I better freaking get this right.
You knocked it out of the park. You did a great job. I'm so good at what I do, aren't I? Okay.
I hope you're filming right now.
These are the things. Those are the things you have to get.
The outtakes are the best.
I know.
We kind of like having her here.
Yeah, she's like, so much good morning, LaLa. We've got things to do.
Room to your set today.
That's right.
I love that.
So tell us about the proper way to actually taste this wine.
Put it in your mouth.
I love you. That's my kind of winemaker.
LOL. As you can see, we have a lot of fun here at EverTalk TV, and I'm so excited to share this journey experience with you. Visit evertalktv.com for your free 30-day subscription. EverTalk TV, anytime, anywhere. What an incredible week here at EverTalk TV. I'm Jasmine Moyer, and we'll see you next time. If you're a fan of Hallmark's Home and Family, you undoubtedly know our next guest. Paige and Ken, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Excited.
We're so excited. We've been watching you renovate the set over at Universal. This has been really exciting. So you're taking your expertise and actually bringing it to Home and Family.
Which is really fun. Yeah.
It's fun for people who don't know, like, because we actually shoot the show on it's a full house built on the Universal back lot. Wow. We've got a garage and a kitchen and a bedroom and a dining room. And so we've been living in this house for like 7 years doing crafting and interviews and gardening. So finally, like anyone who's lived in a house for a while, we're kind of tired. And
Yes. And with the amount of guests we have on each day, it's like 10 guests a day, and you're constantly filtering in and out. So we decided that we were just going to update our house a little bit, and my background is in construction. Ken's is in design, so we were like, dream team, we got this. We'll take care of it.
So rumor has it that there's like 50 G's on the.
What's
So because we're so emotionally invested in our viewers, we want them to come along this journey. So every week we have them help us with design issues, whether that's picking out the furniture, picking out the color. So they can all go online to hallmarkchannel.com, and every week they can register over and over again. And at the end, the sweepstakes will be winner will get $50,000.
$50,000.
$50,000.
50, they're implementing 50,000.
Right. And then they get to come to LA and they get to talk with us, and we get to plan their renovation.
Right.
So
And
now we have an excuse for being antisocial on the break.
Just keep entering.
They're just entering 1,000 times.
But so, I mean, look, Good Morning LaLa is all about the mindset of the dreamers, the mindset of the doers, the mindset of believers, and I think that our home is so important to us. Really, we create memories. It's our feng shui, whatever you can say. It is a place that it's our haven.
It is, and it's safe. And you know, when we have people over, when we have guests on the show, it's like have people over to your own living room. And so that's actually where we started the renovation, in the living room, because we want to make some place that it's nice, it's wonderful for people to come and sit down and like this, like sit on your couch and have some coffee and talk about your day. So we really wanted to make sure that area, we started with that area, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing the rest of the house in the years to come.
But it's also, to your point, we do a lot of DIYs and all that. So redoing your home, it's not about what's going to look great in photos. It's not going to be what's going to impress the people that come over.
Oh, that's all we care about.
It's like the place where your family
the intention.
is, and your heart is, and so it needs to be. You need to invest in what's going to be good for your whole being.
So tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here on the set. What are you working on?
So this is our new entertainment center. We got an entertainment center put in. We finally want to put a TV in our family room, but we also wanted to help other people figure out how to make that more special in their home.
And then this, what we're doing here, I'm teaching people how to drywall. This is if you want to fix a patch, like a large patch, you do that. And we're back at the bookshelf with Ken.
Right, because it's all about not necessarily going out and buying it, but we're trying to empower people to make those changes for themselves. So if you have an ugly bookcase, that you don't have to go out and buy a new one.
for like 20 bucks and a trip to the hardware store, you can make it fabulous. And you don't have to call a contractor if you have a hole in your wall.
Right.
You can really do it yourself. Empower people to make those changes in their own space.
You really are like an unlikely vision, though, on a construction site. And it's so fun to be able to watch you. I would be so intimidated to drywall something like that. Where did you learn this? Were you always like DIYing and building?
No, I actually, though, my mom said, I didn't say my first word, I said my first phrase. The first thing I ever said was, I'll do it myself.
No.
Yes. She said when I was a baby, it was like, back off, I'll do it myself. But no, my dad was a race car driver, so I had to learn everything about cars. He never lifted a hammer. So when I got invested in it, I was saying I went to medical school and I decided I was working with kids that were in the oncology department, and I was crying every day. And I said, I want to go do something that I don't cry every day. And then I went to a show called Extreme Makeover Home Edition, where I cried every single day. Yes, and so, but it was all self-taught. I bought a bunch of homes. I did flips. We're on our 43rd right now, personally, and I didn't know what I was doing. And this was before the internet. It was 1998 when I bought my first one. So I volunteered at Habitat for Humanity. First day I got there, they're like, we're gonna put you on roofing. And I thought, what about this says roofing?
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Yeah, but I just learned. And the greatest thing about this, and especially when I was teaching like Debbie how to do drywall, who's one of our hosts, it doesn't matter if you mess up. You can always fix it. It's like if you mess up a cake, you can fix it. You can make another one. And I mean, as long as you don't burn the house down, you're good.
Well, plus I think there's an emotional investment, even if you don't do it perfectly, it's your home and there's pride, especially when you're doing it with your kids, with other members of your family. I would rather have something in my home that's imperfect, that we created together, than something that I paid someone to come in and have it look 100%.
I love that, and I'd rather have you guys do it. I feel like it's better at it. I'm gonna be honest.
Somewhere in between.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah,
fair enough.
I can't see you doing that.
Yeah, I'm like, I want them to do it. They are really
Well,
good
now
at
at home, I'm living in a construction zone. So at work, we're doing construction. At home, I'm doing construction. And yeah, I'd like to move into a place that I don't have to do anything.
Nice, right?
Just done.
What do you think has been the secret to your success, each of you?
Separately or as part of home and family?
Both.
Ooh.
Individually.
Mine is that I have always followed my heart. And I think it's hard, especially when you're young, you hear all these voices outside telling you should do this, you should be a doctor, you should be a lawyer, you should do that. And as a kid, all I wanted to do was craft. My parents, thank goodness, my dad built me a craft room on the back of the house. I had no friends through like 8th grade. I was just stay in the back and I would make things. I ended up being an architect, and then I found myself here. It's like as long as you follow that voice inside that tells you to be true to yourself, I think everything in life always work out. You end up in the right place.
That is so true. Right. Yeah. My journey was similar. My dad built me a dollhouse in my bedroom when I was little, and they said they have a picture still of all the dolls sitting outside. They were not welcome, but I made furniture for the dollhouse.
And then she redid it, sold it to her sister, got another one, redid it, sold it to her brother.
I flipped a few.
She's been flipping dollhouses.
Flipped a few. But you know, and I followed. Awesome. My dad was so great. He was a race car driver, but he also was in the music business and all this stuff. He taught me that if you don't like the career or you don't like the life you have, change it. That's your prerogative. You know, go to college, but after that, do whatever you want. And so I kind of had the freedom to really embrace what I wanted to do, and it's follow your heart.
Which is what I think why we enjoy being on Home and Family so much, because the show is really about finding, whether it's cooking, health, exercise, design, finding that part of yourself and sort of celebrating it, and being true to yourself as a person.
And that inspired us in creating our show. You know, I've been a fan of Homeworks Home and Family for years. We love what you guys are doing there and creating a very amazing, positive lifestyle conversation. So we're doing that in our own way, bringing positivity.
All the positivity and self-empowerment.
Absolutely. And it takes a village, especially in media, really to make this all a reality. We recognize that. What's it like working on set for you guys with your home and family?
Well, I would say to start that out, it is a family. Like, you know, we've all been together now for 7 years. Like, we're brothers and sisters, and we call our hosts Mom and Dad, even though I think they're younger than us.
7 years, wow.
Yes, 7 years together.
And I'm a little embarrassed because it honest to goodness, it does not feel like work. Like if I if they said, "Oh, so we're switching things up, and you're going to have to pay us if you want to come here every day," I'd be like, "Fine."
Yeah.
It's like
I consider it.
It's
Yeah.
like happiness. I love the people I work with. I love I the end of the day when I'm here, I don't want to leave. It feels so good, and I'm old enough and have had enough bad jobs to realize, like, when you get that good energy and that happiness, there's no beating it, and it's rare.
I love that.
Yes.
So
You're,
true,
you know, you're
so
surrounded
true.
by entrepreneurs, so we've got to edit the little part about you paying them out. Because we don't want that to come back to the
Come to my
house.
office. We're getting your salary, and you'll now be paying us.
We're all about giving you what you want.
You never heard that.
Nothing. I heard nothing.
Well, we just want to remind our viewers again how they can be a part of your
Yes.
sweepstakes because we want to pay them that 50 G's and get that big announcement on April 29th.
Well, watch Home and Family on Hallmark every morning, 10 a.m., 9 Central, and they can go online every day to hallmarkchannel.com, and they can give me their opinion on paint color, furniture, etc. They'll enter it for a 500
Weekly.
every week and 50,000
Yes.
and a trip to LA to like hang out with us.
Wow.
You're all
Yes.
welcome to like.
Wow.
You know,
We will put you to work, but you are welcome to come.
That sounds
Fair
good.
enough.
So
Sign
great,
me up.
you guys.
I accept that challenge.
Thank
Tell
you so
everyone
much.
where they can find and follow your personal journeys as well.
Mine is just pagechemist.com across all platforms. at
And
Paige
I'm
Chemist.
Kenneth Wingard. Easy.
All right.
Instagram.
Kenneth, you're so fancy.
I know. When it comes to social media, I become very formal.
So awesome, you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much
you
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Truly.
It's wonderful here.
We're so grateful. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land. Welcome to your home for talk. I'm Jezza Moyer, and this is Ever Talk TV, America's first live streaming video talk show platform. This week on Ever Talk, our shows were filled with positivity, enlightenment, insta fame, insta scandals, and binge-worthy conversations. Let's take a look.
Today's guest dislikes titles. Although he is an amazing, talented actor and a real-life Viking, he prefers to be valued by how many belly laughs he can get you to have in the shortest amount of time.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin Ziering, and this is the Housewives of Hollywood. You might think you know the Housewives, but it's not rosé all day, Pilates, and finding the best nannies. It's women supporting women, and today I have a very special guest, and we might have to change the name just to Housewives of Beverly Hills for Tori Spelling. Tori, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, anything for you.
We kind of like having her here.
Yeah, she's like, so much Good Morning La La Land. We've got things to do.
room to your set today.
That's right.
I love that.
So tell us about the proper way to actually taste this wine.
Put it in your mouth.
I love you. That's my kind of winemaker.
LOL. As you can see, we have a lot of fun here at EverTalk TV, and I'm so excited to share this journey experience with you. Visit evertalktv.com for your free 30-day subscription. EverTalk TV, anytime, anywhere. What an incredible week here at EverTalk TV. I'm Jezza Moyer, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to have wife, actor, producer. She does it all.
Oh, wow.
She's, yes, with Bravos,
Tell my
married to
husband
medicine.
Thank
Asha Kamali's in the house.
Yes,
and I got the
thank
name
you.
right.
You did well.
Right? Yeah, I'm a slow learner, but when I learn permanently.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you are a very busy woman. Like, they're calling you the multi-hyphenate producer, actress, also a reality star.
Yeah.
So, what's your key to balancing all of that?
You know, I think it's just a journey. You know, you just figure new things out every day. For me, it's being still because my life is like this. And one day, I got to cook breakfast still, right? And then I need to go to an audition, and then I need to film. So For me, I just try to find at least one moment of stillness. So far, that's what's working.
I love that because I would imagine it's one of the challenges I think we all face today is the context switching all the time.
Yes.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and you have to realize what, that all of that works on you. You can be all these things to all these people, but it all works on you, meaning that, you're giving a piece, and for me, I've had to realize, okay, what do I need? What can serve me? So, and then if all else fails, I turn on Beyonce.
There you go.
So I have a question.
Always winning that way.
You're highly successful. We've studied so many people, and you can't really explain the how. People hustle, it's just the flow, you get into whatever. But I want to know, what is your why? What had you come into this line of work? What is your why for doing what you're doing?
That's a great question. I think it's so important to have a why. And for me, I was very clear on my purpose. My parents named me Asha Kamali. It means protective spirit of life.
Oh, wow.
So I've just always been taught to be intentional. And for me, it's very important to reflect the image I want to see. I remember when I was a little girl and I searched for people who looked like me on TV, who were, doing things that I wanted to do, who were, dancing or acting, or, they were doctors, they were lawyers. I was just, in desperate search.
Right.
I remember, I think her name was Debbie Turner. She was Miss America.
Yeah.
And I think was she the first black Miss America? Don't quote me. Maybe she was the second. But I remember how big that was for my sisters and I at, 8.
Wow.
To see her and to see that the world said, look, she's a beautiful, smart, intelligent woman. So for me, I strive to do that for some little girl.
I think it really is that, it's that potential, putting that potential in consciousness.
Yep.
And that's one of the greatest things we can do. It makes it, because we're really here to just be the full potential of whoever we are. And when they see you there doing that, it's a beautiful gift to give to the world.
It's amazing.
Well, seeing you on Bravo is hashtag goals. Okay,
Oh,
let's take a look at the show.
Okay.
LA is all about image. Get it? Get it?
What do you eat, Imani?
Air. Looking good and feeling good.
We're gonna fix you up, girl.
Is this gonna hurt?
You're at a higher risk for prostate cancer.
Black doctors in LA is like running into a black leprechaun.
And just take some slow, deep breaths, okay?
Got patients afraid of needles.
Count of 3. 1.
Ow! Oh, look at this 4-leaf clover. Hey, it's a black doctor.
At this school, there's not a lot of kids that look like me.
You telling me I'm not gonna see my kids? Get out of here with that.
Let's have a baby and then we'll figure it out.
The first 2 years you and your husband were together, there was back and forth with this ex.
When this girl just insinuated my husband's cheating on me.
You are insecure.
Bitch, you need to get up.
She's lying.
She wanted drama.
Push those demons to the side.
Hallelujah!
Welcome to LA.
Uplift the energy for today.
Welcome to LA. Wow.
Welcome to LA.
You're being so very real and vulnerable, though, about your personal journey and with fertility on the show. What's that been like for you?
I'm 39. I'll be 40 in T minus a few weeks. So
immortal. You're immortal.
I know.
Immortal.
My stepmother calls it level 4. So I'm level 4, right? But for me, it's important to be transparent. I think that the universe rewards authenticity. So that's why my husband and I just chose to do the show, because those images are important, and it's important for people to see women who, were always told, my mother told me to go to school, right? Then go get my master's in theater and then do this. We never talked about babies and husbands. It was more about, creating your own. Where her mother told her, go get a husband. So I feel like a lot of people in my generation, we're looking up, over 35, and we're like, oh, that's right. That's right. I need to, work on kids. So, I just think talking about that mindset is what I was really interested in, you know what I mean? And how we're, told to be go-getters, but you do have to figure out, you have to carve out space for those babies.
Yeah. Do you believe you can have it all?
I think you can have it all, but not all at one time.
Yeah.
Well said.
I agree with that.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it's powerful. What's surprised you most about doing the show?
The drama.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because people are like, well, it's a reality show. You didn't think you could, and you didn't know about the drama. And I think I was a little naive because I'm very much. I mean, as a producer and an actress, and I have a web series that I produce. I'm very much like, oh, I know, I can, I know how to give a story. I think I even did like an orientation for the other ladies. I had handouts. I had handouts on. I mean, and I had no idea because I'm a scripted girl. Like I know the page, I know lines, I know words. So it was hard to just like, like I'm like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, just go.
Well, speaking of being a scripted girl, we got to talk about Star.
Yes.
Working with Queen Latifah, what was that like?
You know what? Crazy part, I'd never met her because first of all, there's so many different characters on the show.
Really?
So she wasn't there. My storyline is kind of with Keke Palmer, and I mean, I probably met everybody else, but I've heard so much about her. She has that presence where everybody's like, when Queen's here, oh my, it's an amazing thing.
Well, it's so interesting though to even have that conversation because so many people would watch a show and think your paths cross all the time.
No, never. I would love to meet Queen Latifah if you're watching. I can't wait to meet you. Yeah, but no, I've never met Queen Latifah. No.
Is there a role in which you would love to play? Or?
I would. I have this thing about playing someone that I've just always admired and looked to. Someone recently told me that I could play Diana Ross. And I was like, I could do that. A little Mahogany remake. I also am in love with Eartha Kitt because I was a dancer. I started off as a dancer. So I would love to do a biopic, something where I could get my chops,
Who would you want to play you?
I just hope anybody would ever play me. Can we just start there?
That in of itself is something to do.
It could be anybody. I mean, it could be whoever. As long as if they are doing a story about me, then I have done what what I'm supposed to do.
I think there will be a story about you. There already is. There's a reality show. That's going to lead to a movie.
Well, I'll take that.
So how do you keep your faith going in the middle of all that? Because I think it's important for people to see that there's women of faith that still can have some drama and be material and still be women of faith, right? How do you carry that through?
I do think that our show, all of the cast members, except for one young lady, I would say most of us were really on that page. And that's why I did the show. When I met them, one of my best friends is on the show with me. So seeing the cast was all women of faith and they were all trying to create positive images, that helped. I think at the end of the day, you really have to know who you are. And for me, the most powerful word is no. So even though I'm on the show and even though, there's producers and there's this and that, I can always say no. And I can say it with a smile, I can say, no, actually that doesn't feel like me. That actually doesn't feel like me. And then they actually respect it. They're like, oh. And then people are inspired to go back to the drawing board and figure out what does work.
It's such a good point that your no can be a positive, life-affirming no.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be.
It's a complete sentence.
Yeah. I love that.
The power of the positive no.
Yeah.
There you go.
With a smile,
Yeah.
And,
Do you think that it's that, and what else has led you to the success that you've experienced?
I think that I have really leaned on, encouraging myself. There's a gospel song that says, encourage yourself. And I think in this world, you really have to build a muscle for that because you don't always have mom or sister or friend. Sometimes you really have to have that muscle where you can encourage yourself. And for me, that has sustained me. I've been here for 15 years as an actress and a dancer. And those moments have allowed me to say, hey, Asha, if no one else sees you, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, your name says it all.
It does.
Thank you so much for gracing Hollywood with your consciousness. That's what I would say.
I appreciate it. And I'm glad that even a morsel of that shines through this.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It absolutely does. Tell everyone when and where they can watch the show and follow you.
Absolutely. You can tune in to Married to Medicine on Sundays at 8 Central on Bravo.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Stay tuned.
Taking over as the host. It's really fun.
I really love it. I'm just going to sit back. If you could just ask yourself and answer some questions.
I'm going to ask myself some questions. You can just kind of sit there and react with your face as I go through.
I'm introducing an Emmy Award-winning host. I better freaking get this right.
You knocked it out of the park. You did a great job. I'm so good at what I do, aren't I? Okay.
I hope you're filming right now.
These are the things to take it.
The outtakes are the best.
I know.
We kind of like having her here.
Yeah, she's like, so much good morning, LaLa. We've got things to do.
Rooms here set today.
That's right.
I love that.
So
Tell us about the proper way to actually taste this wine.
Put it in your mouth.
I love you. That's my kind of winemaker.
LOL. As you can see, we have a lot of fun here at EverTalk TV, and I'm so excited to share this journey experience with you. Visit evertalktv.com for your free 30-day subscription. EverTalk TV, anytime, anywhere. What an incredible week here at EverTalk TV. I'm Jasmine Moyer, and we'll see you next time. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning Long Island. We're so honored to welcome Sam Behrens to the show. You might recognize him from General Hospital, The Young and the Restless. I mean, your IMDb credits, by the way.
You have to be old to recognize me from General Hospital.
Those were the good days.
They were the good days.
That General Hospital was the first show I ever remember watching. After Sesame Street, my mom was a huge fan. So we would literally I would have my time and then she would have hers, and I'd get to sit there with her. And I mean, those storylines, it's incredible how long that's lasted.
Yeah, it was a great time in daytime. It was exciting too.
Uh-huh. And it's still hot in daytime.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
How could it possibly be I'm not there?
They're here right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And it's an important conversation to be having, though. You know, we were talking earlier about, aging in Hollywood and how your roles change not only in your characters, but in your life and how you play this business. So could you speak to that a little bit?
Well, let me get this out to begin with. It doesn't compare to being black, or why did I go to you?
Yeah.
It doesn't compare to being black.
It's true.
It doesn't compare to being black. It doesn't compare to being a woman, because a woman's time starts very young. But it still happens. You reach 50 and they see it. It's, I forget, Steve Martin said something, I forget exactly what he said. But they smell it, and it shifts. There's not as much to go to, et cetera, et cetera. And you feel it. But it's, I don't want to get too philosophical about it, but it's more about your work than seeking work anyway. So the satisfaction comes from that and not from necessarily working.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about aging in Hollywood. What's that like? I'm no longer a 20-year-old woman. So it's, for me, it has, yeah, exactly. It takes really developing and loving and falling in love with your own life. In my experience, what's been your experience for yourself in Hollywood and aging as a man? Is completely different than as a woman, even, right?
It's different, but you know what the experience is, because whether it happens at 50 or 20 or, because it's the same, I think it is the same. I'm not a woman, so I don't have that experience in particular, but you know what the experience is. And it's something to adjust to. You have to say, okay, things are different. And you move forward in a different way. I mean, lingering on it is not productive. You learn from what's going on and you move forward.
Touche.
Yeah.
So what have you learned and what do you know now that you didn't know 10 years ago about yourself and about the business? How much time do we have, right?
Yeah. Gee. Somebody said, I thought was one of the gold wisdom things to say, because, the saying is follow your passion. And this, I forget who it was, and I'm bad at names anyway. So they said, no, don't follow your passion. Follow your curiosity. And that was, okay, that's what it's about. I'm photographing houses now, architecture. I've developed an interest in that. I don't make any money doing it, but that's what I enjoy. It's a little hobby I have on the side. And I still seek, I go to I work out with this guy in workout meeting, acting workout. We call it a gym because it's not like going to a class, it's like going to an acting gym where you get your rocks off,
Get those reps in.
Yeah, you get those reps in, yeah. And that's how you get your satisfaction, or I do, get my satisfaction doing something like that. And if something comes along, that's fabulous,
What is it that you still want to do and work on it and pursue in Hollywood? Is there a certain role, a project that you haven't done that you'd like to bring to life?
Well, I'd love to, I hate to say work in film because there's all sorts of, there's bad film and, you know.
Film,
I would just love
television,
to work with, you know, I've been lucky in my career, in my life, to work with really wonderful people. And I would love for that to continue. I'd love to work in, if I want to be specific, I'd love to work in film with good people.
Who have been some of those best people, those most memorable that you've worked with?
Oh God, well, I'd have to start remembering their names. I swear to you, I had to introduce my mother to somebody, and this is a syndrome. It's not caring, because obviously I care very much about my mother, but who's passed away since. But I had to introduce my mother to somebody, and for about 5 seconds, I could not come up with her name. Wow. And they're going to name the syndrome after me. It's going to be called the Barron syndrome.
I have that syndrome too. I'm terrible with names.
I forget my own name half the time and my own age for sure. I'm like, I'm 23rd. Forget about it. I don't know what age I am.
But no matter what my frustration is during the day, I always have the puppies to come home to at night, and my wife. We share that passion, and we share each other. You know, we enjoy being together after all these years.
Well, and your wife has been on the show.
On General Hospital, yes, she has.
She's like, I forgot.
No. Oh, don't ask me her name though, because I'll have a problem with her.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
No, I was thinking, what show is that? Oh yeah, she was on General, because she's doing a show now, or they're filming it in any case, and I'm not supposed to talk about it. So.
Okay, well, we'll keep it under wraps. But Sam, we really appreciate you and all the hard work you've put into Hollywood.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been a joy being here. I just love your setup. It's just great.
Enjoy having you.
Thank you so much. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
I'm really excited about it. I love going on shows and taking over as the host. It's really fun.
I really love it. I'm just going to sit back. If you could just ask yourself and answer some questions.
I'm going to ask myself some questions. You can just kind of sit there and react with your face as I go through.
I'm introducing an Emmy Award-winning host. I better freaking get this right.
You knocked it out of the park. You did a great job. I'm so good at what I do, aren't I? Okay.
I hope you're filming right now.
These are the things to take
The outtakes are the best.
I know.
We kind of like having her here.
Yeah, she's like, so much Good Morning La La Land. We've got things to do.
Room to your set today.
That's right.
I love that.
So tell us about the proper way to actually taste this wine.
Put it in your mouth.
I love you. That's my kind of winemaker.
LOL. As you can see, we have a lot of fun here at EverTalk TV, and I'm so excited to share this journey experience with you. Visit evertalktv.com for your free 30-day subscription. EverTalk TV, anytime, anywhere. What an incredible week here at EverTalk TV. I'm Jasmine Moyer, and we'll see you next time. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. In these times, it's all about collaboration, and Laura Flipowitz has mastered that. She's the CEO and founder of the Connect Her Media Collaborative Agency. Very cool.
Yes.
Very clever name, too.
I know, right? Thank
Tell us about what that is.
So what we do is, I've been doing this for more than 10 years, so I kind of started in the social media space before it was popular, I guess, right? Kind of dating myself there a little bit, but
MySpace.
Yes. But basically, we're an agency that works with Gen Zers, which is the teens and tweens of today, the Gen Alpha generation, and mom social media influencers. So we collaborate with brands and projects and create our own projects and bring in different elements of everyone's expertise to create one big event or one big project or campaign or.
But you've been recognized as a top blogger, one of the best moms in SoCal to follow. How have you really established that voice for yourself?
I established that for myself just, because I'm a mom, right? So, before I was a mom, I used to have a completely different life, right? But then I sort of reinvented myself during that time and kind of focused in on the mom aspect of still being able to be a mom at home with my kid and also still kind of having my own independence as who I am and who I went to school for and all of that. So
let's go a little deeper here for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about you're a cancer survivor.
No, my mom is.
Your mom is.
Yes.
What was that like for you, and like helping her through that journey?
Yeah, so she is a cancer survivor, knock on wood, right,
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
So I really pull from her strength to do everything that I do, because I feel that she, gave me the power to know that anything is possible, even when she was stage 4 at the time, and now she's, in remission, yay. But in my own struggle, actually, I had a brain tumor, and so I kind of pulled from that strength as well and got through that, and I sort of self-diagnosed it when everybody told me I didn't have anything.
Really?
So I said, no, I do have something, and you're going to look in my head.
How did you know that?
You just have to, I'm very in tune with me, right? That's super important. A lot of people are not. And I just kept feeling like a little pinch or prickle up here, and I was like, that's not normal. And so I said, there's something there. And first time they did it, they said, there's nothing there. And I still disagreed. So a year later, I went back and they said, yeah, there is something there. And in 2 weeks, you have to go in for a piece of your, skull to be taken out, essentially. So
That's such an important message, though, to really listen to your own intuition about your body.
For anything, health, or, if you have an idea as a mom, you just have to go for it and know that that's possible. Right. And once you go through all of these type of real problems, right? Yeah. Everything else seems so easy. And when there's, drama, you hear people saying it really doesn't matter.
Right.
I really have no time for that.
So
clearly.
what is your mission with all this? What would you say your mission is?
My mission is, our real big focus right now is on the next generation. I actually have a 13, almost 14-year-old. She'll be 14 on Saturday. They are sort of like our future. So I think my whole mission has now shifted to the Gen Z Social Summit and creating a social media educational program through the summit and in partnership with a lot of companies and organizations to help them understand that they can use social media for good. Yes. Right? They have so much at their fingertips at this point in time, much more than we ever had. And I think it's important for them to say, this is not something that I want to be associated with, and this is something I should, and let's create a positive digital footprint for myself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's so important.
So important. And yeah, I mean, people are addicted to social media. We all are. And if we're going to do that, we might as well be intentional and use it for what we do want to create and what we do want to, consume, for sure. And it really is just switching the mind and deciding and just going for it.
And partnerships, who you partner, and they are so influential to even the younger generation, right? So, they're watching what you're doing. If you're doing something that's not appropriate or, something that's not right, they might follow in those footsteps. So they have a social responsibility to kind of become that role model for people that aren't, not just locally, but worldwide.
Yeah, I love it. Well, tell people how they can work with you, how they can follow you.
So they can find me at connecthermedia.com, and the Gen Z Social Summit will be in Atlanta, partnered with Great Wolf Lodge, and in Los Angeles as well.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Thank you
on
so
all of your
much.
success. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Last night.
Than 18 animal foundations. My organization is called VEE Fauna, which means Venezuela Endorses Fauna. It's not a non-profit. So I got together, I united with one that has been a non-profit for 11 years. It's called Luchemos por la Vida, Fight for Life. They have an orphanage where many of their kids have HIV. I thank you very, very much for your contribution, because alone we can't do it.
She's such a love.
Yeah, our love and light to Maria Conchita and all the orphanages she's supporting in Venezuela. It's always great when Hollywood comes together and has a heart and gives back. Visit evertalktv.com for your free 30-day subscription. EverTalk TV, anytime, anywhere. What an incredible week here at EverTalk TV. I'm Jez Moyer, and we'll see you next time. I always say hashtag fashion speaks, and I'm so excited to welcome Denise Berger to the show. She's created an incredible line that not only is fashionable, but gives back. Thank you so much, one, for what you've done, but two, what's inspired all of this?
Yeah, good question, a lot. My story probably starts on 9/11. Actually, I was in the towers on that day on the 103rd floor, and I was pregnant with my daughter. And my boss died that day, and he always lamented that he hadn't spent enough time with his kids. So a few of us said that we would never let work and life get out of balance. And I was working in corporate America at the time, and work was definitely getting out of balance. So I shifted gears. I went back to school and got my doctorate in organizational leadership. That led me to teach at Pepperdine in a social change program and entrepreneurship. And I thought, gee, if I'm teaching this stuff, I should start my own business too. And I've always loved jewelry. In fact, even my daughter has to peel me away from the jewelry stores when we walk by them. And I'm half Greek. So this design comes from Greece. It uses a special clasp that I only found in Greece. And so I learned how to make the jewelry, and I started making them, and I built my website, and I focus on corporate social responsibility too. So I've always wanted my business to have a give back component, which I call gift, actually. I call it giving it forward together.
Love that.
I love that. What's the story behind the name? Is it Aliki? Alika?
It's Aliki.
Aliki.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It is my aunt's name in Greece. We share a birthday, and she was like a second mom to me. And she just had a quiet wisdom about her always in a rather chaotic Greek family, as you can imagine. So it represents to me wisdom.
I love this one. It says, this is Tihi, is that how I pronounce it? For luck, appreciating good fortune, believing in ancient Chinese proverb that luck is the product of opportunity and preparedness, enjoying positive outcome.
Yes.
So great. So
Thank
well
you.
done.
So every design comes with a Greek name and an essence and an intention, a positive intention.
You always been positive?
My husband would probably say no.
That's his job to say no.
Yeah.
That is his job to say no.
You know, nobody can be positive all the time, but I've studied a little bit of positive psychology, and to get to a ratio of 3 to 1 is the goal, where you have 3 positive thoughts for every 1 negative thought.
You're talking to a positive psychologist here.
Yeah, love positive psychology.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
Yes.
Me
Yeah.
too. So you've probably heard of the 3 to 1 ratio.
Yeah, positivity ratio. I love it.
It's a little bit more realistic than expecting positivity
All the time, right. When did you get to a place where you said, hey, I want to set an intention to be increasingly positive or more positive? Was there a point in your life? Was it after 9/11? Was it before that?
Yeah, I would say 9/11 was a big spark for that. And moving to California too. We lived in New York City for over 17 years, and California's sort of the epicenter of positivity and sunshine and everything.
La La Land.
So,
Good morning,
yeah,
La La Land.
Exactly. So I would say that it's been cumulative. I don't think it was one day that the lights turned on for me, but definitely cumulative.
Well, and I love that these accessories, this bracelet, really can serve as a reminder of that. You know, whatever positive intention it is that you create or that the designs actually bring, that's really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I know my friends say when they're wearing them, they remember the card and the meaning that went behind it.
So good.
Absolutely.
So tell people where they can find.
Yeah, you can find them at Aliki Designs, ALIKI, designs.com. And I'm also on Instagram, Aliki Designs, and Facebook, you know, all the usual social media places.
Yeah. Love it.
That's
Well,
fantastic.
thank you so much, Denise. We really appreciate you sharing your time and talent with us.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
really back
you.
for and Good Morning La La Land.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La-La Land here on Wealth Wednesday. We've got these fantastic guests today, and we've been talking a little bit about what true wealth is, I think, and also, I think Wealth Wednesday is also about wealth of wisdom, right? And so I guess my question for each of you is, what's the one tip, trick, or a piece of advice that you would give our audience members about creating a richer life, a wealthier life?
I would say that competition is the thief of joy. So, stay off your social media a little bit more and just focus on your journey and your path.
If you don't compete, you can't be beat.
Oh,
there you go.
Mine is simple: lead with gratitude. I think especially when you're down, if you find something, even something small, to be grateful for, it just changes your mindset.
Love that.
For me, it's simply be yourself and also believe in yourself, because the way you see yourself is the way that others will perceive who you are.
True.
So
true, right?
Love that.
That's so true. Okay, so Denise, I have a question for you. When you're picking out a bracelet, is there something that you should really look to or look for? Is it the design? Is it the messaging? Because I might want to dive in here.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little bit of everything. It's what looks good on you, what you want to pair with other pieces, because these designs are meant to be worn all the time. You don't have to take them off. You can wear them exercising, sleeping, showering. And then it's also the message. So I've had some people buy the bracelet just on the message alone.
I love that. I love that.
This one's really speaking to me right here. Lamsey. Essence, shine, shining bright. It's so funny? I always say, show up and shine.
You do.
That's
say
my
that.
thing.
Well, that
You picked the
one's
right one,
yours.
Jess.
I gift
Tuesday
that
on
to
Friday.
you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Embodying a holistic glow, extending an aura of positivity and hope, bringing lightness and love in all aspects of life. I will wear this and shine brightly. Thank you so much, Denise.
Awesome.
We're so
Thank
grateful
you.
for you. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All of these interviews are also available as a podcast on iTunes, and you can download this show on EverTalk TV, now available on Apple TV.
That's right. We are waking up the world together. Have a great Wealth Wednesday, you guys, and check out all these amazing pieces of jewelry right here. Have a great day, you guys.
Show up and shine. It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
So dope. Look at this one. I love this.
Did you do this all yourself?
Amazing. I love it. Look at that dog.
Thank you.
That clap is super cool.
This is my men's version.
I love it.
Oh,
It does feel more rugged. I would love it. Absolutely.
So it's stuck.